What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new video. I hope you're all good. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Shadow Piloswine in the Johto Cup. So the Shadow Piloswine's got some really good IVs. It's actually a 113-15, ranked 93 for the Great League. It's actually a rank 3 purified for the Ultra League, so I might use that in future. And we're going to be running this with the normal moveset of Powder Snow, Avalanche, and Bulldoze. So we're going to have Mantine on the lead in this team, and this is a 6-12-14, which is a rank 418. Bubble Beam, and Ice Beam. We're going to have this in the lead, and because it's obviously weak to electric, we're going to have two things in the back that resist electric. So we're going to have Quagsire as the closer. Always wanted to use this Pokemon, but never really had a decent IV one. This isn't really the best, but it's alright. 0-12-11, rank 498. And then we've got Mudshot, Stone Edge, and Earthquake as the moveset. And as you can see here, I'm just trying to TM it over and over again. It just keeps going back and forth between the two moves. God damn you, game. Quagsire shakes his head in disapproval, and then finally the game sorts itself out and gives us the right move. Anyone else found that always happens? It seems to always do the same thing. Anyway, into the battles. Here we go against TTK Hammer or some sort of weird name. He's got the Umbreon on the lead, and we're going to go in with the Mantine, start bubbling it to death. But guess what? We're going to go for a Bubble Beam and try to lower their attack. And guess what? We do. We lower the attack. But does that matter? Is it going to matter? Because let's be honest, Mantine is pretty shit. So, hits us with a foul play, doesn't do that much damage. But either way, we are probably going to lose this opening matchup, as Umbreon is just going to be able to outbulk us and then probably reach its moves a little bit quicker. And as you can see, we're not getting stabbed off of that Ice Beam, so it's not doing anywhere near the amount of damage that we would want it to do against that tanky Umbreon. So we're going to end up losing this opening matchup. We're not going to switch out, and then we're just going to come in with one of our other two Pokemon and look to farm the Umbreon down to gain some tasty energy to throw at the next Pokemon. So that's what we're going to do, just waiting for that to play out. Even at 1.8 speed, this is a bit of a boring matchup, isn't it? It's taken ages to play out. So finally it takes us out for foul play. What Pokemon are we going to come in with? We come in with the Quagsire, the chunky Mud Skipper, and we're looking to Mudshot them down the whole way. So they're going to get off a foul play, but we have debuffed them. And Quagsire's pretty thick, so they hits with a Psychic, and Quagsire's like, nah, that did nothing, mate. Get out of my sire. What you got for me, game? And it is actually a Jump Bluff, so not very good for us, as we are double weak to grass. But we've got two Stone Edges built up here, and it does a lot of damage because it is a Shadow as well. They make a swap out into a Quillfish when we swap out into the Piloswine. So now we finally get to see the Piloswine in action, and they go for an Aqua Tail. We're going to have to shield that up, as it will be doing a nice amount of damage. Quillfish does have quite a lot of attack, so we go for an Avalanche bait, and they do shield it up, so that's really, really good for us. And now we're looking in a bit of an awkward position. We need to make sure we save a shield for the Quagsire against the Jump Bluff. So we're actually going to let that go through, and then we're going to hit them with an Avalanche, and this will be resisted as they are water type, which resists the ice, but it does still do quite a lot of damage. They're looking to try and poison sting us down, but we actually reach another Avalanche, so we're going to be able to take out the Quillfish, and then it's going to be a race to get to two Stone Edges against the Jump Bluff. They're going to have to build up quite a lot of energy to get to two energy balls against us. Are they going to throw their energy right now? We get to the Stone Edge before they can get anything off, so this will definitely be getting the last shield out of them. And can we get up to another Stone Edge before they get off their first energy ball? We can. So that is the thing with Jump Bluff. It does take a bit of time to get up to those moves, and Mudshot generates so much energy so quickly, so we were able to take that win there. Into the next battle, and we're against Fanuchin. So we've got Mantine against Ampharos, so really, really bad for us. We are double weak to electric, so we swap in the Piloswine, and now they are staying in, which is quite surprising. We're going to go for an Avalanche, which they're definitely going to shield up, and then I imagine they're going to make the swap out. Quite surprised they stayed in. So they throw another one, and then they're actually going to go for a charge move, and we are pretty sure this isn't going to be the Focus Blast. We let it go through. It's a Thunder Punch, and they are absolutely disgusted by that, so they just quit the game and go home crying to their mother. Apologies to my opponent, it's only good banter. So into the next one, we've got Lantern, so that's also very, very bad for the Mantine. We're double weak to electric, so we're going to go into the Piloswine once again, and once again my opponent's staying in. Their opponents are just completely bamboozled by the Shadow Piloswine, go for a Bulldoze, and they do shield it up. They come in with the Grand Ball, so they definitely should have swapped straight into the Grand Ball as soon as we came in with the Piloswine. Now we're going to be able to get up to an Avalanche at least and threaten the shield from them. They do shield it up, and then they're going to just charm us down. Now we're going to bring in the Mantine, and we're just going to absorb anything that they throw at us. Even if they throw a Crunch, it's going to do a lot of damage to us, but we're just going to absorb it, and we're going to save our shields for the Quagsire in the back. They actually throw a close combat, and even though it's resisted, it does a lot of damage, because obviously Shadow Grand Ball does hit quite hard. So now they come back in with that Lantern, which is quite interesting. So we're going to shield up a potential Hydro Pump, which is what it was. Expecting they may try and catch here, and they did try and catch, but it was actually a bit too early on the swap anyway. So we're going to now just throw a load of Stone Edges against the Skarmory, the thing that you're basically seeing in every single team. Everyone, why don't you stop being so boring? Actually, to be fair, I do understand it. It's because everyone's just trying to rank up, aren't they? Where I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun, but having fun in this game is a bit like pulling teeth. So let's go for some more Stone Edges. And where we're not getting stabbed from the Stone Edge, it's actually going to take 3 to take them out. We're not going to be able to mud shot them down. So we're going to store the Earthquake on the Quagsire and quickly swap into the main team with our stored Ice Beam. Take out the Skarmory. They couldn't even swap out because they were misaligned switch timer. And now they're not going to be able to get up to a move to take out the Quagsire. And this Earthquake should just be doing enough damage to take out the goofy looking electric fish. So thank you, Quagsire. You are a real champ. Into the next one, and we've got Tulips, Renegade as an opponent. So big ups to you. And then we've got Lantern on the lead. So another electric lead. The algorithm's really loving me at the minute. So we're going to make a swap into Piloswine, and they actually come in, with a Kingdra. Sorry about that, but yes. Anyway, we're going to build up to an Avalanche, and they're going to shield it up because that's going to be doing a lot of damage to them, as they are part Dragon. So they're going to go for an Octazooka here, and we're just praying that they don't debuff us. And they don't actually get the debuff, so that's really, really good for us. And now we're going to go for another Avalanche, expecting them to shield this up. They do shield it up, but little do they know we're going to be able to outpace them to another move, and we're going to win the switch and going to keep a shield. So we've just completely bodied this Kingdra. Get out of here, son, and let's see what you've got in the back for us. So we've won the swap, and it is a Lantern. And we could actually have got up to an Avalanche against this Noctowl that they swap in, but it was a quick snipe. But all they've done now is made sure that we've got an alignment, but it doesn't really matter because either way we had that switch advantage. So now we're going to be able to take out the Flying Owl with the Flying Stingray. We're going to hit them with an Ice Beam, and it's probably going to do an okay amount of damage. We're probably going to need another charge move to take them out because the Noctowl is quite tanky. So didn't barely even put them into the red. Now we're just going to go for a Bubble Beam. We're just going to get them down quite low before they get to another charge move, and then we should be able to take out both Pokemon with the Quagsire anyway. So we're going to let this go through, of course, and it doesn't actually take us out because we're quite thick, and then we come back in with the Quagsire now, and we're going to have to shield this up. Even if it is a Thunderbolt bait, they're not going to have the energy to get to Hydro Pump, and they know that, so that's why they've went for the Hydro Pump there, and then they back out and save us some time. So I appreciate that, and GG's to you, my sir. So we went 4-1 in that first set and off to a good start with this team, and we got the useless Deoxys form as a reward for that set. So into the next battle, what have we got in the lead? And it's in another electric type. What a surprise. So we go straight into the Piloswine as we've seen before, and they're going to come in with Skarmory. So this is actually pretty good for the Piloswine, as we will be able to outpace them to the Avalanches, and I think one will be pretty much taking them out. So they do decide to shield up the first one, and now we're just definitely going to match shields with the Skarmory, because of course we should be able to outpace them to another Avalanche, and we're building up quite a lot of energy, making sure we count the air slashes, and we go just up to the next Sky attack. So we do throw energy, and they do commit another shield, but once again we're able to outpace them quite easily and get up to another Avalanche. We'll just take them out. Doesn't quite take them out. They survive with 1 HP, so we are going to have to spend that last shield, but we've got a nice amount of health left, and they bring in a Typhlosion. So now I am a bit slow to react. Coming with the Quagsire, and now they're going to get up to a Solar Beam, and I thought it was 5 Incinerates for a Solar Beam. I thought that was only 4, but they actually managed to get to the Solar Beam and kill us, and now we're in a terrible spot. That slow swap out there really did catch us. We're going to come in with the Mantine. Hopefully they can't get up to another Solar Beam. They do throw their energy, so it's just going to be a Blast Burn. And at this point, we're able to bubble them down because we know they're not going to be able to make it up to another move. So now we've got loaded energy to go for whatever they come back in with. Likely it's going to be the Ampharos. So what are we going to do? I don't know why we're throwing our energy still. They tried to actually make a catch out, so we come back in with the Piloswine after we take out the thing they tried to catch in with. Now we just go for an Avalanche, which should be doing massive damage. And they threw their energy as well, so that's absolutely perfect. Looking in a terrible spot, we was able to just pull it out after the opponent tried to make that swap, and that actually cost them. So coming in with a Mantine, and we're able to bubble them down. Well, not bubble them down, we was able to bubble beam the electric type out of existence. Thank God for that. And into the next one, another Ampharos. So once again, we swap into a Piloswine, and they come in with a Noctowl, which is crazy, because obviously we're going to be doing lots of super effective damage with the ice typing against that flying type. They obviously shield that up because that will be one-shotting them. And now we're definitely going to match shields here. Not quite sure what the game plan was here, but we're going to see how it plans out. We're going to try and build up as much energy as we can, as well as taking out this owl. So they're going to actually commit their second shield, and we're going to just commit ours. We may have been able to survive a Sky attack, but I just wanted to play it safe, and then this way we can build up some extra energy on the Piloswine, but we don't actually build up any extra energy, so I'm lying. I'm not sure why we did that. I think we was maybe just a little bit nervous. Now they come in with a Meganium, so this is really strange, expecting they were going to swap out, and we do make a swap into the Quagsire, so that's absolutely fine. Now we're looking really, really good. Managed to get that alignment, getting the Quagsire out of the sight of the Meganium, because that's not what we want to see. We're letting them get us down quite low, so they don't get much farm, but look at the lag there. We were trying to hit the Earthquake, and somehow it doesn't register, and and they're able to get off their move, and the lag absolutely costing us there, and I was so tilted at this moment I nearly backed out. That really pissed me off. So we're coming in with the Piloswine now, as we can't come in with the Mantine because we're not going to be able to do enough damage. And now we've pretty much just lost the match because of that lag. We was trying to be a bit too clever, let them get us down low so they couldn't farm on the Meganium. And instead what happened, the game said, no, you can't be too clever, here's some lag, stopped us from hitting our move. And we hit that Earthquake so much before even the next Volt Switch came through. So that was one of the worst bits of lag I've experienced all season, and it really did cost me at the worst time. So, f*** you, Niantic. Moving on into the next one, so we got another Umbreon on the lead, and as we've seen, this is a very long and drawn out battle. Go and get yourself a cup of tea, maybe some boiled eggs, because this is going to be a long one. So hitting us with a foul play, and I think at this point I did decide that I'm just actually going to go straight Ice Beam, see if there's any way we can actually beat this thing if we go straight Ice Beam. But as you can see, it's not doing anywhere near enough damage. And I think we do actually put ourselves in a disadvantage compared to the first matchup where we just went straight for the Bubble Beam. And that allowed us to take another foul play, because I think another foul play after this one will take us out. So yeah, they're just going to go straight for this foul play and take us out. And they're still in the yellow, so we're going to have a bit of a struggle to get rid of this thing by just farming it down. We decided to come in with Piloswine this time, as we're going to be doing a lot more damage with the Powder Snows. So we should be able to farm them down all the way. And what the hell were they doing? We went way past one move, so they must have easily been at a foul play. Maybe they were trying to build up to a Psychic, and even then I still would have thought they had enough. Opponent comes in with the Lantern and then tries to make a swap out into the Ariados, which would have been fine anyway because we would have done a lot of damage with the Bulldoze. But luckily we did actually hold our move. And now we're just going for the Avalanches against the Ariados. They give up both their shields, and then they decide to back out. So they weren't particularly happy with that one. We were able to actually pull out a good win there, just simply by farming up all that energy on the Piloswine. And I'm sure my opponent was so annoyed with that, with not getting off any energy with the Umbreon. So into the next one, we had a really good lead, Shadow Houndoom. So you don't really see that too often. So that was quite spicy to see. And guess what? My opponent made a swap into the Umbreon, and we decided to stay in with the Mantine, and this time we're just going to go for a Bubble Beam and debuff them. We may actually make a swap out after doing the Bubble Beam. Yes, we do. We're going to the Piloswine. Now we can easily tank some foul plays by the Umbreon. So we're going to look to build up as much energy as we can and take this thing out. I think that from this range, an Avalanche will near enough be taking them out. Let's have a look. So we're going for the Avalanche now. So let's see how much this does to the Umbreon. Oh, it doesn't actually do as much damage as I thought it would. And now they make a quick swap into the Houndoom, so that's a really good play by them, as they're absolutely melting us away. But we do go for an Avalanche, hoping that we can get a shield out of them, and they do commit their shield. So that's good for us at least, because now we've still got the Mantine that can take out the Houndoom. They've given up that switch advantage. So we're going to come straight in, go for a Bubble Beam just to lower their attack. But I think either way, probably a Crunch would still take us out. Maybe we could just survive. So we're just going to shield this up and just bubble them down the whole way. Oh no, we're actually going to shield it up, and we're going to come in with the Quagsire and mud shot them down. So God knows what I was thinking. They come in with a Jumpluff now, so that was a very questionable decision. Luckily we have got that energy advantage now, and 2 Stone Edges should just about be taking them out. It just about, I reckon. So obviously we're going to have to shield this up because it will be taking out 3 Quagsires. So they go for the energy ball, and we do shield it up, and now we're just going to look to build up to another Stone Edge. But unfortunately they're going to be able to outpace us to another energy ball, and they will be taking us out. So we're getting up to the Stone Edge now, and they keep overcharging, and that's crazy. They must have thought that we had an Ice Beam on the Mantine, and they needed to get to 2 energy balls. So they completely overfarmed, and they realised that they've made a massive mistake there. They easily could have still won that, because we didn't have any energy on the Mantine. And yes, basically that was a bad misplay by my opponent. So into the next one, we've got Skarmory on the lead. So this is kind of a neutral matchup. We're going to go for the Bubble Beam here and just debuff them, just so some Sky attacks are doing less damage, and then we can go for an Ice Beam. And then because of that, they made a swap out into their Lantern, so that's really good. We come in with the Quagsire now, and we're going to come in and hit them with an Earthquake. So expecting they're going to shield this up, but they do actually let go through it, and they live it, which is really unfortunate, because now we're going to have to commit our shield. We did win the switch advantage, but yes, that shield is going to be quite crucial in the end game. And now an absolute ton of lag. Well, are we even playing a game? The game wanted to give them a whole charge move there, I think. So anyway, in comes Skarmory, and now we're going to go for a Stone Edge. And unfortunately, this isn't going to be doing too much damage to them, as we're not getting stabbed, and it is only neutral. Actually, it did do quite a bit of damage, so I'm lying there. We made a swap into Mantine just to keep the Quagsire alive, and it turns out they actually have a Raikou in the back, so that's really good for us, because we have 2 Pokemon that can do well against Raikou, resisting that electric. So we're going to go for a Bubble Beam there, just to buff them. And then we should be able to get up to another one easy. And they're not going to throw their energy. They're going to look to farm us down the whole way, as we are double weak to that electric. But they're keeping both their shields, which is really surprising because they're already down very, very low. And Raikou is incredibly squishy in the Great League. So now we know we've got the Piloswine in the back there. So we're just going to let them hit us with both the Shadow Balls, let them get completely rid of their energy, and we know we should be able to close the game out with the Piloswine. So now we make a quick swap into the Piloswine. They do still have some energy left on the Skarmory. We do still decide to shield it up just so we can farm them down the whole way. I don't think that the Raikou will be able to get up to another move, but unfortunately the Skarmory does just get up to a Sky Attack. There was no point in us throwing our energy because we weren't going to get up to 3 avalanches, and we are able to powder snow down the Raikou and say so long, good night, you've been crushed by the Piloswine's might. So into the next one, we've got Skarmory on the lead, so another neutral lead matchup. So we're going to just go straight for the Ice Beam, I imagine. They get to their move first, so we're going to let the Sky Attack go through. And then we're just going to build up, and we're just going to time our move in line with the Air Slashes just to make sure they don't sneak through a free fast move, and we hit them with the Ice Beam. But unfortunately, they're going to be able to beat us to the next charge attack because they win CMP tie against us. So we're just going to let the Mantine go down, and they make an instant swap out into a Domfan, which is not particularly good for us at all. We're only going to be able to hit it with an Earthquake from the Quagsire. And they're going to be eating into us with the counters and body slams. And obviously the Piloswine is going to get destroyed by the Domfan as well. We let both the moves go through, which is quite risky. And now we're just going to go for an Earthquake. And there's an incredible amount of lag once again. Spinny Wheel of Death. And then it doesn't go through. They don't use a shield, so I promptly back out because this game is a piece of crap. Honestly, like, how long has that glitch been in this game for? Ever since the inception of Go Battle League. And we still don't have a fix. And yet they put out this update saying, oh, we're going to fix the game next week. You've had 2 years. How hard is it for a multi-million-dollar company to just hire some people to fix what could surely be a simple stability bug? Honestly. Anyway, we might as well just get back into the battles before I just moan for the rest of the video. So, not sure how the beginning of this battle played out, but now we've got Mantine up against a Quillfish, which is not great. Quillfish is pretty much a core breaker for the team. It's pretty good against all of my Pokemon, and considering it is so common, we probably should have thought about that before developing this team. But who gives a flying fridge? That'll probably be in the next gen of Pokemon, a flying fridge. They are running out of ideas, so I wouldn't put it past them. We've already got a pile of rubbish. For some reason, we went for a Bubble Beam, and now we're just going to come in with the Quagsire and look to farm them down with Mud Shots. So the Aqua Towel isn't going to do a lot of damage to us at all, barely tickled. And now they make a full swap into the Skarmory, so that's really, really good for us. Now we're just going to go for spam Stone Edges. It tells me they've got something in the back that probably doesn't want to see the Quagsire. They didn't want us to farm them down the whole way. We're going to let the Sky Attack go through because we know we can survive it, build up as much energy as we can, and then we'll go for another Stone Edge. So with the Stone Edge, it's going to connect now with Skarmory. No, they're going to throw up the shield. They really don't want to see the Quagsire, whatever they got in the back there, okay? Sorry, I don't know why I started doing that in a ridiculous Irish accent. If you do like these accents, let me know and I'll continue to do them in future videos. So now we've got the Mantine against the Skarmory, throw a Bubble Beam, expecting them to let it go through, but they actually shield it up, which is brilliant. So now we're going to make a swap into the Piloswine, and they come in with their own Quagsire, and it's a Shadow Quagsire at that. So they throw the Stone Edge, definitely got to shield that up, and then we're going to count up to 6 Mud Shots, and then throw our own Avalanche. So we should have 2 moves ready to go, and they should definitely be taking out the Quagsire. So goodbye to you, and then what are they going to come in with now? They might have some energy left on that Skarmory, and they're going to come in with the Skarmory, so we just go straight for the Avalanche and get rid of it. And I think they've only got a little bit of health left on the Quillfish. So yeah, that's going to be a nice easy win for us in that one. So GG's to my opponent, and on to the next one. And let's see what they've got on the lead for us. Something a bit different, a Porygon Z. So no, or is it no Porygon 2? Sorry, not Porygon Z, as it's not flitting out like some sort of weird glitchy thing. So now they go for a Tri Attack, and they do get the debuff on us, which is not very good at all. So we're going to build up as much energy as we can. Are we going to let this go through? I think we might. Yes, we do let it go through, and then maybe swap out. Yeah, we're going to save that energy on the Mantine, considering they debuffed us. And then we go straight into the Piloswine and build up to an Avalanche, which will probably do enough damage to take them out. They do throw the Tri Attack again, and it doesn't actually debuff us this time, which is really, really good. And they come in with an Umbreon, which isn't too bad, because we'll be threatening them with the Avalanches, and we should be able to survive a Foul Play. so it should be fine. So we're probably going to let this go through because they've got Dark Pulse, so it does a lot more damage than the Foul Play. Well, not a lot more, but a fair amount. So now we're going to build up as much energy as possible and go for the back-to-back avalanches, hopefully. We're just able to take them out before they get to a move, so that's really, really good. Now we have that avalanche stored. Coming with Ampharos, so that's great for us. We're going to build up to almost another avalanche and throw the first one. Expecting they'll shield this up because it will do a lot of damage. And we're just able to get off another one before they can get up to their first Thunder Punch, which must be very gutting for the opponent. So they use both of their shields there, and they do fully Volt Switch us down. So now we're going to bring in the Quagsire, and this could be a Focus Blast, but they go for a Thunder Punch, and we don't shield it up, so that was a correct call. Come back in with Porygon Z, and we do still have that energy stored on our Mantine, so we come back in and throw the Ice Beam instantly, gets them down quite low, and now we're just going to look to bubble them down, because we don't want them to, we don't want to take them out with a Bubble Beam, because then they'll get more farm on the Mantine. So we're just going to come in with the Quagsire after they've taken us out, and then we're just going to go for the Earthquake and take out the Ampharos. So we should be able to win this quite easily. I don't know why I'm even saying this, because we've already won it. I've already hit the move, and we've got that shield up the Focus Blast. So it was quite crucial we called the bait earlier on in the battle, and that is a good game. Good to take out the Electric Lamb once again. Lamb? It's a sheep! Anyways, moving on into the next one, and we've got the Meganium on the lead, so not particularly great. We should be able to do super effective damage with the Ice Beam, but they're just going to be able to outpace us completely to Frenzy Plants, and 2 of them will be enough to take us out. As we don't want to see them anywhere near the Quagsire, we do actually choose to shield it up, and then we're going to let this one go through, no doubt. And then what we're going to do is build up a lot of energy and then just throw another Ice Beam, hoping that they think we're going to try and bait them because we committed that first shield. So they might actually just let this go through. So let's see what they do. They do actually let it go through. That's really, really good for us. So let's see what comes in now. We've won that switch, hoping that they haven't got anything that can farm us down too badly. It is actually another Piloswine, so we're going to go for the Bubble Beam and debuff them, and they give up a shield, so that's absolutely brilliant, and that's because obviously the water is super effective, but Bubble Beam is a very weak move. Just choosing to keep some health on that, but we know how dangerous this thing can be with energy, so we bring in our own Piloswine now, and they hit us with an Avalanche, which we let go through because we did debuff them, and now we come in with Quagsire after they swap into the Lantern, so it's looking like we could actually pull this out of the bag. So we go straight for an Earthquake, thinking that they're probably not going to shield this up, but we do undercharge it a little bit just in case they let it go through, just so we can get some extra farm on them. But they do shield it up, so that's absolutely fine now. We're going to actually look to build up as much energy as we possibly can, and then take out the Lantern. So here we go, and then they do actually decide to bait us, so now this is likely going to be another Thunderbolt, so it's absolutely fine. We're going to resist that, and then build up as much as we can, so we've got full 100 energy, go for the Earthquake to take out the goofy electric fish, but it looks like we might not get to a Stone Edge, so we try and swap in the Piloswine as it's got energy on there, but they take us out with 1 Powder Snow, and I was sure that I didn't leave the battle with 1 HP on the Piloswine there, so I can't understand why we went down so quickly. I would always recommend that you don't do that, because that's the sort of thing that can happen, but I was sure that we might actually lose CMP tie at the end there, so that's why I tried to swap it in quickly, but it did not go as planned, and we lost. But I really didn't think that I left the Piloswine with 1 HP, so I was really shocked that that was taken out by that 1 Powder Snow. But unfortunately, GG's to my opponent. Into the next battle, we've got Ariados on the lead, so this is a pretty neutral lead. So I'm always unsure how to play these matchups out with Mantine, because we always had that option of going for the Bubble Beam, or just going straight Ice Beam. So we go for the Ice Beam in this occasion, and it was a bad call because they shielded it up. So we could have really benefited by going for the bait there. So they hit us with another Cross Poison and then swap in Raikou and snipe us completely. So the Mantine just basically got slapped around the face. So we bring in now the Quagsire. At least they full swapped and locked themselves in against one of our ground types. We do choose to shield up the Shadow Ball because it would have done a lot of damage, but I think we could have survived it. But now we're going to just get up to Stone Edge and threaten the shield out of them. Are they going to let it go through? They do. And now let's see what they want to bring in. So now they come in with an Azumarill, which isn't actually the worst matchup for us, as we will be hitting for neutral damage, and they will be hitting for neutral as well, but we should be able to do some nice damage with the energy we've got stored up. So let's see what they're going to hit us with. More than likely it's going to be a Play Rough, or maybe an Ice Beam, but it is the Play Rough, so it gets us into the red, but we do still have a move, and we actually threw a Stone Edge before they got to it, so a bit of a choke there. And then the Stone Edge actually did no damage, but I think that was just a visual glitch, so we swap into the Piloswine when they made the swap back into Ariados. We're going to let this first lunge go through and then try and build up as much energy as we can, but obviously they are very spammy, so we're being very careful, and we just throw this Avalanche, and we do get the last shield out of them, and now we should be able to just get up a little bit more energy. We did get through a Powder Snow there when they threw their energy at us, so now a load of lag once again, and oh, what a surprise, it's going to cost us again. again because we couldn't get off the charge move, but somehow they're able to get off their charge move. At this point, I was absolutely raging and so close to backing out, but there is still hope with the Quagsire. Can we get up to a Stone Edge and take out the stupid Azumarill? Oh, yeah, well, I tell you, we better. So we're going to hit the Stone Edge now. Is it going to take them out? And we do manage to pull off the win, and it's a good job because I was going to be on my way to California to burn down Niantic's headquarters because of this crappy game and its lag over and over again every time I play it. So managed to pull off that win even despite the game trying to stop us. So I was pretty happy with that. Into the next one, and we've got a Quagsire on the lead. So that's not particularly great for the Mantine, and they are doing a lot of damage to us with that super effective Stone Edge. So we're already into the yellow. Oh look, some more lag, what a surprise. So anyway, we get off an Ice Beam, which does an okay amount of damage, and at this point now I'm deciding whether to commit a shield to try and win switch, but I do actually let it go through. So now we're going to come in with the Piloswine and look to farm down the Quagsire, but obviously we've got to watch out for that Stone Edge. So we do shield up one, hoping that we can just farm them down before they get to another one, but it's not looking good, and they're going to get to another move, aren't they? So we're actually going to have to go 2 shields down. Luckily, we're going to build up a lot of energy with the Piloswine, and we've got to just hope and pray. We've got things in the back that aren't going to be a direct counter to it. So they're coming with Skarmory, which isn't terrible, as we're going to be able to do a lot of neutral damage with the Avalanches. And we should maybe be able to outpace them to another one, though probably not, and we did let an Air Slash through there, so we're definitely not. So we're going to go for the Avalanche now. And they do commit both their shields. So then we're going to make a swap into the Quagsire, and expecting that they may now go for a Brave Bird against us. So let's see what they do. They do go for a Brave Bird. There's some more lag. And then they swap into an Ariados. And what the hell just happened? This is a fresh Ariados. Just got to a lunge in 2 poison stings. And that was one of the times where my mind just fell out my ears. Because I've seen some lag and I've seen some glitches. But that just didn't make sense to me at all. What happened? How were they able to get off a move in so little time? So let's have a look at this again, because this was insane. So they throw their energy, there is lag, and then that's it. They swap in, and this at the most, that's going to be 3 poison stings. After the charge move, we threw 2 mud shots. So how is that even possible? That is a disgusting glitch, and no doubt cost us the victory there. Once again, this game just, what is the deal with it? Honestly, fix your game, Niantic, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so into the next one, and we had once again a pretty bad lead with their Quagsire. So we made a swap into the Piloswine, and they stayed in for a little bit, threw a move, and then they actually dipped out into the Skarmory, and it allowed us to build up a lot of energy. So now we're going to threaten them with a ton of Avalanches. So they do commit their first shield, and I think in this range we should be able to actually farm them down, considering we snuck in that Powder Snow now. We're getting really, really risky. One more Air Slash. Yes, we are able to farm them down the whole way. So now the Piloswine is loaded. So we're going to go for an Avalanche against the Quagsire, and this will be taking them out if they let it go through, but they don't let it go through, they commit a shield. So now we're going to go for another Avalanche, and this is going to just completely, oh, they're going to back up. One anti-climax, and that's the end of the video. Bye bye. Quagsire is pretty thick.